What's up everybody, welcome to the video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I am behind the wheel of the 2025 Mazda CX-50 Hybrid, and this is the fully loaded Premium Plus. This is the first vehicle that Mazda has sent me, so thank you to Mazda. They sent this out to me to keep for a week so that I can give you guys the most thorough review possible. So let's get right into it, starting off with the ride quality. Now the overall ride quality is pretty good, but there's a few things. Like for one, potholes, bumps in the roads, impacts feel just a little bit harsh. There is just a little bit of stiffness to the suspension, but on a smooth road like this, there's very minimal vibration coming in from the tire, so it's overall a smooth ride. And the thing that's interesting with the tires is that even though there's minimal vibration coming through, there is a bit of noise that comes out of them. So overall, the cabin is pretty well insulated and don't hear too much road noise coming from the outside, at least at, low speeds like this. Mazdas for a long time have had a reputation of having an interior that feels a class above the competition, aiming their sights at luxury brands as opposed to other comparable brands like Toyota, Honda. But in terms of the overall riding experience, when it comes to road noise, yeah, I'll give it to them. They do it a bit better than Honda and Toyota, but again, the suspension and the harshness of going over the bumps and stuff, I would not say it's better than Honda or Toyota. Even though this fully loaded Premium Plus sits on 19-inch wheels, it's also on a 55 series sidewall on the tires, so that still provides a pretty good amount of cushion. That's not a low profile tire by any means, so I don't think the ride quality suffers at all from having a 19-inch wheel. Now this is a hybrid, so fuel economy is a very important factor, and this one gets 38 miles combined, 39 in the city and 38 on the highway. For a vehicle this size, that's pretty good. Can't complain about that. In my time driving the car, I've barely used any gas at all. It's still practically on full. And a very important thing to note about this hybrid system is that it is borrowed from Toyota. So this has the same engine and hybrid system as the Toyota RAV4 hybrid. I had the Toyota RAV4 hybrid as a press car a few months ago, and I was thoroughly impressed with the fuel economy I got on it, and so far I'm having the same experience with this. Toyota makes great hybrid systems. They were a pioneer of hybrid technology in the first place. So I think it was a very smart move on Mazda's part to partner with them and use their hybrid system. Toyota makes very efficient hybrid systems along with the great reliability of their engines. So this is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder paired with 3 different electric motors. Puts out a combined 219 horsepower and 163 pound-feet of torque. And that is paired with an electronic CVT. And also, just like the RAV4, this has an electronic all-wheel drive system. So what that means is the motor that is back in the rear powers the rear axle independently from the power that goes to the front axle. A typical all-wheel drive system has a drive shaft that goes to the back along with a center differential, and you won't find either one of those things on an E all-wheel drive system. So on this all-wheel drive system, there's no mechanical connection between the front and the rear. Both ends are powered completely independently. So having that 39 miles per gallon in the city is all thanks to how efficiently it switches off from battery to engine, especially at low speeds like this. So I'm here at a stop, the engine's off, it's technically in EV mode, as you can see there in the gauge cluster, and the way it just so seamlessly comes on. So now I'm rolling, slowly putting my foot down, still on EV. And now the engine kicks on, and it kicks on so smoothly you can barely notice it. And the battery system is also very efficient at using the kinetic energy produced when braking to help recharge itself. So you can see on the right side of the gauge cluster, it says 350 miles, meaning the range. That number can actually fluctuate up and down a little bit here and there because of that recharging. So that is something I've noticed. It doesn't just steadily go down. Sometimes you get a mile or two back, especially if you've been cruising downhill riding the brake. So before we do an acceleration test, I want to go over the different drive modes. So there is a sport mode here, and you can shift up and down using the lever. No paddles on the back, but it's an eCVT. I don't think this really accomplishes anything, to be honest. But here we have the Mazda My Drive selector, and there's just 3 modes. Normal, power, which maximizes the power output, and then trail if you're feeling adventurous. So when I have it here in power mode, it holds the revs a bit higher, but there is no tachometer, so you can't really tell exactly what it's doing. But we're gonna come to a complete stop. This is rated at 7.6 seconds for 0 to 60. So I'm gonna come to a stop up over here. It is a little bit uphill, just keep that in mind. You can see the engine's a bit louder in that power mode. All right, I'm gonna come to a complete stop. All right, no brake torque, just go. Alright, so as you can see, acceleration is not exactly exhilarating. Power delivery is just pretty linear all the way through. You can't feel any kind of torque kicking in. And even going pedal to the floor uphill, well, it felt like it was struggling a little bit. But there aren't going to be any like real world scenarios where you'll be doing that, but we are going to take it out on the highway and see what it does in a more realistic scenario. Alright, heading out onto the highway, hopefully not too much traffic. Alright, so as you can see, it doesn't do too bad with merging onto the highway. I think it's perfectly adequate for that. But I'm sure you can hear the engine gets quite loud out here on the highway when revving. It revs really loud even though it's not necessarily doing a whole lot. Now I am in power and sport mode, so let's see if I put it out and still accelerate. It's a little bit quieter, but it's still loud. And that's a shame because road noise from the other cars and wind noise is like very minimal. So the only thing you're hearing mostly is the engine, and then a little bit of noise from the tires, but mostly the engine. Alright, so now I have the adaptive cruise control system on. Let's see, I have it set for 58 miles an hour. One thing that this system is missing is the road keep assist, I think Mazda calls it, which is basically the lane keep assist with the centering feature for when you are doing your cruise control. So basically this can't steer for you, and it is notably missing because there is a button for it. It's supposed to be right here, but it's blank on other Mazda models. That's where it is, right there. So it gives you, let's see, 4 different distance markers. I don't really have anyone in front of me right here yet. Now this says it has road keep assist, but there's no button for it, and it doesn't have the lane indicator icon on the head-up display like you normally see, indicating that the system is on. I tried to look it up, couldn't really come to a concrete answer on it. Okay, so let's see. We're slowing down. All right, I do not have my foot on the brake. I think that kicked in a little late for my liking, but it did successfully come to a stop without us rear-ending anyone. There was still a decent amount of distance left, but when you're going at these higher speeds, I think it's better to start braking sooner than later, because you don't know when someone's gonna come right in front of you like that. And see, it got real close before it started slowing down. Now if I try to go hands-free here, we're drifting, and yep, too close. You cannot rely on this system to do steering for you. This Mazda CX-50 Hybrid Premium Plus has a 12-speaker Bose audio system, so let's take a listen. I think the sound system sounds great depending on what mode you have it in. So as you can see here on the screen, it says Bose stereo mode, and there's two. There's standard and linear. I don't think these are great names for it because I think linear should be named standard and then standard should be named something else. Linear is what a normal audio system would sound like, but then standard gives it more of a spatial audio type effect. I'm more of a purist when it comes to music. I don't really like spatial audio, whether it's in a car, headphones. I just like to listen to my music just standard 2-channel stereo sound with nothing else added on top. So that's what you get with linear, and that's what you heard in the audio test. Now, if we listen in standard, which we could do. It might be hard for you to pick up the difference with the microphone that I have. I don't have a binaural microphone, but basically in linear mode, it sounds more centered, whereas in standard mode, the sound is kind of pushed out more, if that makes sense. I think it sounds great in linear mode. Everything is nice and balanced, but I think in standard mode, when it goes into the spatial audio, the bass gets a little bit overbearing. The levels don't sound quite the same between the two modes, but there's no issues with clarity, and I think overall it's a good sounding system. Which is refreshing because I've had some other press cars recently that had Bose audio systems that quite frankly just did not sound good. But this, one of the good ones. Alright, so now we are out here at the back roads to test out the steering and the handling of the CX-50 Hybrid. So I have a lot of thoughts about the steering. For one, the weight. It's heavy, which is typically how I like it. Now, I haven't driven any other CX-50s from the model year before this, but I did hear that it was an issue with the steering being too heavy and that for 2025 they retuned it. But it still feels very heavy, which I'm not mad about. My issue with the steering is that it does not turn smoothly. Like, I don't really know how to describe it, but instead of the wheel feeling like it just turns in one nice fluid motion, it almost feels like it has points where it sticks and it kind of turns at like increments. It's not drastic, but it's noticeable. I haven't really experienced that in any other car I've driven before. So it almost feels like you're turning like this as opposed to just... So I have found that to be a little bit annoying in my time driving it, but nothing major. But I think it's tuned nicely. I am a fan of the weight. I know not everyone is, but I am. As far as the handling, the proportions of the car I think definitely help paired with the all-wheel drive system. So this car, it sits low and it's wide. So that makes for a lower center of gravity. So that helps reduce body roll a lot. Steering is also pretty quick to respond. Test it some more here. The MSRP of this Mazda CX-50 Hybrid Premium Plus with its options is $42,065. So big thank you to Mazda for finally sending me a car. I've been trying to get one from them for a while. I really do enjoy being able to spend extended periods of time with these cars. Helps me get a better understanding, and then it makes for a better video for you guys. So let me know your thoughts on the CX-50 Hybrid down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please share with a friend and subscribe. It'll really help the channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Let me know down in the comments what other vehicles you want to see on the channel next, and be sure to follow @OpticalAutomotive on TikTok and Instagram, and check out the page on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.